Donde quiera que voy, me platican de ti, que tienes nuevo amor y que eres feliz, pero sé que no es verdad cuando me miras con mí. No has podido borrar los besos que te di, porque un amor como el mío es humilde y sincero, cariñoso y verdadero. No es tan fácil olvidar, se te hizo fácil dejarme y echarme al olvido. Escucha bien lo que te digo, de mí no te olvidarás. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. David Lee Garza. Porque un amor como el mío es humilde y sincero, cariñoso y verdadero. No es tan fácil olvidar, se te hizo fácil dejarme y echarme al olvido. Escucha bien lo que te digo, de mí no te olvidarás.
Wacky Wednesday.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Unfiltered, the real deal. No pre-planning, no chingaderas. Straight up from the bill.
Wacky Wednesday.
B-Town's very own.
It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper.
Here's your host, Bumper Gomez.
And we're live.
Maybe when I thought I was bust out the glow sticks there for a second, man.
The song, right? Oh, man.
What's up?
Man, so welcome to another episode of Bumper's Wacky. Hey, dude, let me start off again. I'm going to try this again. Welcome to the first episode of award-winning Bumper's Wacky Wednesday.
There you go, man. Hey, congratulations on that, man.
Yeah, all right.
That's awesome, bro. It's always good to be recognized. You know, it's always good. You know, you've been doing it for a long time. Whatever it is, you know, you get recognized like that amongst your peers, and it you know, it gives you another little, like some fire. It gives you
exactly,
going,
dude.
You know
and you said it right on the head, Art. Like sometimes, you know, people think, oh, you think that you look forward to this every Wednesday, and I do, right? Sure. But sometimes it's like, man, I want to go to Padre. I got a show coming up or whatever, you know. Sure. And so it's part of my life now. Sure. You know what I mean? It's part of our schedule, the whole family schedule. So the award was, you know, I made it a point to dedicate it to my wife and my kids, because if it wasn't for their help, you know what I mean? Sure. And let me do this, keeping it quiet, serving drinks, helping me on the with the show. With that being said, I want everybody to say hello to my beautiful daughter, Jasmine. Say hello, Jasmine.
Hi.
She's all laid. Hi.
Well, I can't see it. It's a little.
Oh, that's right. You can't. So, but that's our Jasmine. She's going to be helping us out with the comments. So if you guys got comments, let us have them, man. She's there writing them down, and we'll get them to Art. Maybe not. Maybe he will answer. Maybe he won't. But man, it's been a crazy week, Art. Last night, very somber for me and my family. We really close to Mate Rodriguez. She was one of the students who passed away in the classroom shooting there in Uvalde, and we attended the funeral.
Wow, man.
And we got to pay our respects to the couple too, to Miss Garcia and her husband who had passed away of a heart attack. They were right across the hallway, so we went and paid our respects to them as well, and just kind of drove around, man. Looked at the school, and me being the Marine in me, dude, it's like I wanted to see what this guy was going through, man. So I literally pulled up a map of like the crime scene that somebody already had drawn out, and I went to the dude's house, like left his house, drove to the school, went to the crash site, and then kind of just looked at, and dude, the DPS has that place, dude, it's on lockdown right now for sure. Yeah. But man, it was very, just not to go on that subject, but man, it's just, the guy lived like a block and a half away, dude.
Wow,
you know what I mean? He was on top of the school before you could know it, man. So,
yeah, and in that, that being said, we have to always keep that in the forefront of our mind. That can always happen. Even though it seems surreal, it happens. People say, well, that can't happen to me. That can't happen to us. That can't happen in my town or at my school. And this is just a huge indication on that it can.
It can happen anywhere, dude.
Anywhere,
for sure.
And we just always have to. We just always have to live life. That's always been my thing. Is I live life like I don't know if I'm gonna be here tomorrow. And I always tell my wife that. I always say, you know what? And I'm not saying it out of just trying to be like funny or nothing like, but I mean it. I'm like, you know what? If I was to die today, I want you to know that I have lived a wonderful life. My life has been, it surpassed everything that I've ever dreamed of. And that is always, and I always want everybody to know that hey, Art Tigerina passed away tomorrow. This dude, he lived his life like he wanted to. He said what he wanted to do.
El Vato skated Venice, and he rode bulls over here in Austin. He's done it all, bro. He's done it all.
I tell you what, matter of fact, I already had. I even gave my wife pictures. This is what it is. My picture and my deal is a picture of me holding my Tony Alva skateboard by the beach. And it's just for me. It just shows everything that
Tony Alva, that's old school.
Tony Alva, that's old school, man. Tony Alva.
I'm gonna give you another one. I'm gonna give you another old school. I'm gonna say you're gonna be like bump noses skateboarders. You know who my favorite skateboarder was?
Tony Hawk. Don't say Tony Hawk.
From Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Christian Hosoi.
Yeah, there you go. The hammerhead.
The hammerhead skateboard. Yeah, bro.
That was always too big for me. I could never get that one, man. Yeah, it's kind of a weird board for me, man.
Hey, dude, growing up, we didn't have none of those. We saw our friends. They had them. We had Nashes, bro. we didn't have no fancy skateboards.
Man, I mean, and you went to you lived in California for a while, right?
Yeah.
And that is always, man. Growing up, I skated. I had my buddies, and we skated around there. Back then, it was just very sparse to where you could skate. We skated at the church, and the father would always come run us off. But we'd always order our stuff from California, so that was always a dream for us, man, to go to California. And to this day, the UPS driver that used to deliver my skateboards and he always sees me. And he goes, "Oh, are you still skating?" I said, "Yes, sir, I sure am."
He said, "You're still skating."
So I enjoy it, man. I enjoy life. Of course, I'm not as I know my limits. I'm not going to go out there and just do something crazy where I can hurt myself, because I still work. I still got to play. Nobody wants to see me get on stage and with a broken arm
or walking up there with a scooter or a big cast. So, no, guys, if you're just joining us, man, my guest, I didn't give a proper introduction like I usually do. My guest is somebody that I've been following. If you're a Tejano fan, he's been in the industry for many, many, many years. And I spoke to a good friend of his, and I was just telling him when he first got here, I said, man, you guys really love each other up there in that Central Texas. You guys really support one another. And shout out to Chris Tejano, man. Tristan, he's just like, hey, man, you got to get Art. You got to get Art. So we got Art. Art finally made it here. He made it here to the studio. And Art, I want to thank you, man, for driving down through that hectic traffic. I know that cannot be a good day. Driving up or south or north on 35 any day of the week it's just a pain in the ass, bro.
Yeah, no, man. It's always good, man. It's always good for opportunities like this, to be able to come on a show and just talk about stuff, man. Just to because a lot of people don't know, they see what's going on stage at shows, but they don't know the backline, the story behind how I got here or what am I doing now. So that's what we're going to talk about today, about the past and the future and what holds and
see that he's got a plan already. I just got to poke at him, poke the bear a little bit. That's all you got to do. So somebody said, I think you're blocked on Facebook. I don't know. Jasmine, can you check to make sure we're still live on Facebook?
Yeah, you're good on Facebook.
You're good?
It's probably those dudes that blocked
It's probably
me.
those dudes.
the band formerly known as ATB, those dudes.
So if you guys don't know, Art, where were you? Or, I don't want to start off like what I said. Where were you born, son? But where are you originally from? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in the small town of Bryan, Texas.
That shit ain't small no more, dude.
Well, you know what it is. Bryan is. A lot of people, they misjudge that. They're like, hey, man, you're from Bryan or College Station. But just to set the record straight, Bryan folks and College Station folks, two different types of people, two different towns. And even though they run together, it's the same Bryan College Station. But Bryan's kind of a little bit, it's a smaller town. It's not as grown as fast as College Station. College Station is a college town, Texas A&M,
right?
All that going on there. So if you grew up in College Station, it was a totally different deal of growing up in Bryan. And all my Bryan folks that are listening, they know B-Town. I grew up on the west side of Bryan, man. So that's where I'm from, man. I grew up in a small town.
That area of Texas is probably one of that and West Texas, which is like, Lubbock, all that stuff. Those are on the unknown to me.
Sure, yeah.
Like I've been to College Station one time, and I went to College Station because my daughter was having a quinceañera, and she wanted us all to wear hot pink Chuck Taylors. And the only store that had them was some store at the mall there at College Station, and me and my wife hauled ass over there and back and bought like 20 pairs of these Chuck Taylors. But that's the only time I've ever been there, man. It was a beautiful drive. You know what I mean? What do you call home now? Are you still?
I live in Buda. My wife and I, we live in Buda. There again, that's a small town which is growing super fast. I think Hayes County was one of the fastest or the fastest growing counties in the United States here last year, maybe. And for those of you who don't know where Buda, I like to say Buda, but it's Buda, B-U-D-A, and it's about 15 miles south of Austin on I-35. So, and it's a great place.
What's the name of the dance hall there, dude? I was impressed.
Mavericks.
Bro. If y'all have never been to Mavericks Dance Hall, hey, plug in for Mavericks Dance Hall. We need some sponsors. Mavericks, dude, that place is immaculate. It's beautiful. There's plenty of parking. Like it's just an all around good time, bro.
It's a good place. It's a really neat place for a small town like that. It's great. It's a great living. It's a great place. We moved there about 10 years ago, maybe, and it's a great place. The kids, my wife, she came from Lubbock. We say Lubbock. She's in West Texas. I was living in San Antonio. We met up in this area, and we couldn't be happier. We were just talking the other day. I said, can you imagine what the kids' life would be totally different if you lived in Lubbock. Lubbock's a totally different environment.
She doesn't sound like she's from Lubbock, though. You lost that Lubbock twang. We had Michael Salgado on here a few weeks back, and I had so many comments were like, Bumper, I never knew that dude spoke English like that, because he's from West Texas, and he has a very country drawl when he speaks English. So I just thought it was funny. You said she was from Texas, man. I don't know. I don't think she doesn't sound like she's from West Texas. So are you an Aggie?
Oh yeah. I didn't.
That's why I wore this for you today, bro.
Thank you, man.
I knew you were gonna say that.
I grew up there. It was fun times. Because like I said, growing up in Bryan, friends of mine would go to College Station, and we were the same age, high school age, as the students there. So back then, we would just walk on the campus. We'd walk on Texas A&M. We'd go to the place called the MSC. we'd go in there and play ping pong. We didn't, you know. And,
Y el vato wasn't even going to school. You don't even go here.
we just hanging out, man.
Is that from a movie, John? He doesn't even go. He doesn't even go here.
Mean Girls.
We're just hanging out with the people there, and a lot of my friends, you know, we just walk around the campus back then. You know, we'd walk in the MSC and play ping pong and bowling, and they'd ask us for our cards. Oh, we left it up in the dorm, and we just walk around, man. You
Dang,
know,
sir, you've been here for 6 years. You still haven't graduated.
I know you got a beard now.
All right, so speaking of the beard, dude, because I don't want to forget it, how long you been growing that beard, man?
Man, I've had this beard for about 3.5 years, and I have trimmed it a few times. And this was just kind of like one of those no shave November starting things, and so
No shave November.
it started out that way, and then I started getting the when are you gonna shave? And for me, that's like, hey, I'm not gonna do what you want me to do.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm just that way. So I don't know. I might shave in the next month or two. So it just became that. And believe it or not, man, this is the pettiness of people. I've had people tell me, I used to be a fan, but ever since you grew that beard, my wife won't come see you. Can you believe that?
What?
Yep.
No way, dude.
No, serious. 100%.
For real?
Yep.
Somebody had balls to come to you and tell you, hey, my wife doesn't come because she doesn't dig the beard.
Yeah, no cap, bro, for real. For real. That's the truth. And people are like, oh, you know, when are you going to shave the beard? I'm like, you know what? I'm not now, just because, you know. But I like it, you know. It's become an image now that I can't, you know. I have.
It's a Harden. You're like a Harden, the basketball player. Like if you shave it off,
they'll be like, who's that dude?
Who's Art? He's gone.
He's gone. So
what about you? Well, you think I'm being real here? If you were to wake up tomorrow and be like, man, fuck this, and you shave it off completely to the skin, get a razor, and you know your wife's still asleep, you walk in, think she'd recognize you?
My dogs would probably attack me. No, you know that's.
That's hilarious.
But you know, she would always tell me, "Nah, you're not gonna shave because you're gonna have a cara de nalga if you shave it off." You know, so
cara de nalga. That's what I'm talking about, right?
So, but you know, it's just become one of those deals. Now it's you know, it's on our on our decals, the beard. We just made a shirt that's.
So now you really can't shave. You got money invested in the t-shirts.
Yeah,
you can't sell the shit.
We just made a shirt that's like the Loteria one.
Yeah.
It's called El Barbón.
So, nice. That's badass right there.
So we was always trying to, you know, I've always believed in you have to create a niche. You have to create something different for people. You can't be the same. If you want to be the same, you're just going to stay the same in people's eyes. You got to do something different. Whether it's making noise, making some ruckus, doing something that's out of the ordinary, but you have to make some noise out here to get people's attention. You know, and I just believe in that. And it's not because I want to grow this beard just so people can say, you know, well, yeah, sometimes I do, but
yeah.
But you know, that's always been my thing. I've always wanted to do something. That was my dream when I was a kid. I told myself, I want to do something in life that not everyone can do, and this was before I even started doing music, and that was just always been my goal. I want to do something that not everyone in this world. It's a common thing that everybody can do. So you know, you gotta wish, you gotta watch what you wish for, right? Sometimes then it comes true. Yeah. So you know, I became a musician, and and it's not because and a lot of people that I know.
So Art, when you say you became a musician, how old were you when you picked up a guitar?
Man, you know, I just started. I've messed around with it for a few years, you know, but I was never like a lot of friends of mine that are in the music industry. They're like, man, I've been playing since I came out of the womb, you know, or you know, I've been playing since I was
6.
Yeah, since I was, you know, since before I could talk, I was singing. You know, it wasn't like that for me, man. I didn't. My father was a musician. My brothers were musicians, but I never like was like, oh man, I want to go and I want to be a singer. No, I didn't. My first passion in life, like I said, was skateboarding. I always loved skateboarding, and then I became a gearhead. I love cars. I became a mechanic. I'm a mechanic by trade, so
So is that what you do for a living now? You're a mechanic?
No, I got tired of messing with people, bro. Be honest with you.
So what do you do besides what do you have another profession that you do?
I do. I
9 to 5.
And this is something that's real crazy, man. I think I'm a very strong believer that if you speak something into existence, it becomes reality.
Yeah.
So we were talking, my wife and I said, you know what? I want a job where I can work, but not too hard. That I can go in and I can be off usually on Fridays, and I still get paid for when I'm not there. And I kid you not, I swear to you, man. About 2-3 weeks later, this dude called me and said, "Hey, I need a delivery driver for this company over here." But I said, "Okay, well, this is my deal." So he said, "Well, go talk to the guys over there." So I went, and I said, "Well, this is what I need. I can't be here some Fridays, and sometimes I can't be here." And they're like, "No, it's fine." So when COVID hit, well, we weren't playing a lot, so I was able to work. You know what I'm saying? So and then we started playing again. They were like, "No, go ahead." So when the first couple of times that I took off, I got my check and I was like, "Hey, man," I said, "I wasn't here these days, man. You still pay me?" They're like, "Yeah, dude, it's cool." So I said, "Oh."
So we're not going to say the company name because we're going to keep it. Yeah. But dude, that's badass, man. I mean, there's still good people out there. You know what I mean? Man. They respect your passion for the music and they allow you. I ask a lot of my friends that are musicians that do have 9 to 5s. It's hard, dude. It's hard to do something, you know, like what we do every day. We go to work. It's hard to do that and say, "Hey, man, you know what? We got a gig Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So I'm going to be late Monday because I'm going to be dragging ass. Sure. And then Thursday I got to leave at noon because I got to get on the road." And, you know, bosses are probably like, "Nah, Charlie, that's
too much already.
That's too much already." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So that's cool that there's people out there. I know. I'm not going to mention his name, but I got a friend of mine, Gibby. He has a lot of people that work for him that are in the music business, and he himself's in the music business, so he knows how it works, and I think he's very flexible with their schedules and stuff, which is cool, man. You know what I mean? Because it allows you to be who you are and go out there and give us badass freaking shows, dude. Sure, man. One thing that I admire about Art walking in is like he came in shorts, t-shirt, Santa Cruz freaking hat. I'm like, hell yeah, that's my type of dude right there. Kicking. I mean, he's just wearing he's not wearing Vans. I don't know why, but
you know what? I was gonna put my Vans on. I forgot.
Yeah, dang it.
I got a shitload of them, man. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you why I didn't. Because we got a brand new puppy, and this puppy, his thing is to go to the shoestring and just cut one off. So I went to use my deal the other day, and I was like, "What?" I went to skate, and I put my shoes on, and one of the strings was shorter than the other, and I was like, "This damn puppy just cut." So anyway, but
well, don't pull it out, because once you pull it out with the Vans, you ain't sticking that thing back in that hole.
Hey, what kind of show is this?
Oh, shit, man.
Somebody said you have the beard, but what's under the hat?
Oh, there's no hair there, but I'm sorry. I lost that a long time ago.
Oh, shit.
I always tell my wife, man, I wish I could grow hair back. I'd be like Bon Jovi back in the day. I'd have hair like that, bro. Because I used to have wings, believe it or not. My mom used to take me when I was a kid.
Wings?
You remember
the feathers?
The feathers. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. I grew up in the 70s and 80s, man.
With the spit in the middle?
Yeah,
and the feathers right here?
Like what was that cat's name?
This dude said feathers.
Uncle Jesse?
No, the Scott Baio. I used to have hair like that dude. And I would go. My mom would take me to we're going to the beauty salon. So she wouldn't take me to the barbershop. She'd take me to the beauty salon. Right. And when we get there, she'd tell the beautician, she'd say, "I want you to cut his hair like Donny Osmond." I was like, "Oh yeah." So those were the days, man. I grew up. As a matter of fact, I got a birthday coming up this month. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll be 56 years old. So I grew.
How old, dude?
56.
No way, for real?
I'll be 56, bro.
La neta, bro. You don't look like. Maybe I thought you were gonna say 50.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Like 48, 49, 50. I put I.
Gracias. Can you go get him a pizza, please?
Hey, but you know what, dude? I am a believer in this. Like, I don't think that like some people say, "Bump, you still wear Vans, but you dress like that, like you're old, dude." I'm like, was there like an old man's fucking code that you got to dress like? You know what I'm saying?
And now like everybody's dressing like you.
Easy, nobody's dressing like me. But that's what I was going at was like you walked in like that. I was like, I think it's cool, man, because people call us. I'm the same way like you, right? I'll fit into my environment. Chameleons. You just kind of you can fit in where you get in. You know what I'm saying? Sure. And he was telling me that he can go from hanging out with some skateboarders at a skate park, and you could be at a cantina later on that night, fitting right in. You know what I'm saying?
It's just a matter of it's a matter of just being who you are. If you're who you are, everything flows naturally, bro. And I've always believed that. Just being myself and we just going with the flow. And
Hell yeah.
So, but it's like going back to what I was saying, man. Growing up in the '70s and '80s, and I tell these kids, man, our kids, I say, man, you don't know how great it was. We didn't have the technology you guys did. We didn't have all this, but you'll never know what it is to be on the phone and hear the call waiting. Beep. Like, who's that calling me?
Dude, I remember when call waiting hit Beeville. Like I remember that was a thing. Like, hey, next week call waiting's coming across. Everybody's gonna have it free. And I'm like, what is that? They're like, well, now it'll beep instead of busy. Because you used to call your girlfriend and be like busy.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, hey, dog, like, hey, I've been calling for 5 minutes. It's still busy. What's up? Like, what's going down? You know what I mean?
So you call the operator, I need to break through the line. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Break the line.
They broke the line. You got an emergency phone call, and then when they tell you no, you're like, what the fuck?
The kids would never know that, Art. They'll never know nothing about that.
They never know what it is to stretch the phone all the way to your room and shit.
My mom we had a cord, the circle ones, and that thing was probably about 100 feet long. And you could walk anywhere in the house. We didn't have wireless. It was wired, but it could go anywhere.
I tell you, man, ain't nothing worse than being on the phone like 2 o'clock in the morning. You hear the other line click up. Get off the phone. Shit, I gotta go, man.
Oh man, mine was my brother. He would get so we would fight for the phone.
Yeah.
So my mom and dad would be like, "All right, you got 45 minutes. He's got 45 minutes," and it was always like, "Well, when my mom would give us a time, it was always the opposite. I needed it first or him or whatever. Yeah. We'd always fight. So then 44 minutes, 45 minutes, your brother would come on the phone and he'd be like, "Hey, I need the phone. Come on, bro, you're killing the game here, dog."
Yeah,
so.
Great times, man.
But yeah, we grew up in a different time. Art, and you're 56. That's 10 years older than me. So you had a good taste of the 70s, the 80s.
That's good, man.
You know what I mean?
Times,
By the 90s, you were partying it up, dog.
Yeah, man. I was. My wife's a little bit younger than me, so always tell her she's how old? 7 years younger than me. Damn. Until I was 17, you were barely 10. What mañoso.
Hey, once you get to a certain age, man, you don't look at you don't look at it like that. So Art, we got off. What year did you start plucking around with the guitar?
Man, I started messing with the guitar actually when I was with Grupo Vida. Back in the days, just messing around, learn a few chords, and had I really focused on that, man, I'd probably be a really good guitar player by now. But I'm not. I know enough to get me by. And that's just a matter of myself spreading myself too thin. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna practice my instrument. I'm gonna practice, and I just got in too many irons in the fire. And that's a bad thing. I believe it's a good thing, but a bad thing because it
kind of what they say, right? Jack of all trades and a master of none. Right. You're kind of doing all kinds of shit, but you're not really
right. So I mean, I learned I'm enough to write a few tunes and do some stuff, but I enjoy it, man. This is my guitar. My wife bought me this guitar 2 Christmases ago, but I enjoy it. It helps me just relax and it helps me write some music.
Do you do a lot of acoustic shows or not?
I do. What I did was, COVID hit, it shut down everything.
Right.
So I said, man, I want to keep going with the music. I need to figure something out. So I said, you know what? We're going to buy this small JBL single stick. I don't know if you've seen those that have they're all incorporated in one. Have the
Bluetooth speaker and all that stuff.
No, it's like a stick and it has the sub in it and everything. So
okay.
So it's a nice sound. So I said we're going to buy one of those, and I'm just going to just do some shows or whatever. So I did a few, and I said, man, this kind of it's boring. For me, acoustic. After about 3 or 4 songs, it becomes boring to me. So I said, what I'm going to do is
Speaking from a guy who used to jump around a 50 by 10 foot stage.
So I said, I'm gonna add some backtracks to it. So I bought a bunch of backtracks, a bunch of country songs, and just had everything besides the vocals. So I put those on. So I just played along with them. So I said, well, let's see how this works. So we set up in our front yard in our neighborhood and turned it on. Just started playing. This was the afternoon, maybe, I don't know, late in the afternoon, about 5, 6 o'clock. And then people came out, some of the neighbors, and just kind of sat around and listened to me for a little while. I said, cool. This is pretty cool. So we did it
Like
again.
neighbors that you associate with, or neighbors that you don't associate with?
Just people walking their dog, they stop, and so I said, well, that's cool. So that weekend we weren't gigging because it was
That's
of course,
badass, though, dude.
So I said, let's just set up in the front. Let's see what happens. So we set up, and then people come out. They brought their lawn chairs and they started setting up. And I said, this is pretty cool. So as she was recording this, people were checking out, hey man, can you do this at my house? Can you do this at my house? Can you do this at my house? I got a pool party. I got something backyard party.
During COVID.
During COVID. So that became our way to get that music and that money coming in. You know what I'm saying? So we started doing that, and then we started getting really busy with that. So that took off. And
So let me ask you, did people realize that you're Art Tigerina?
Yes, that's still because it was our fan, but it was
No, I'm saying like
the neighbors.
Yeah, the neighbors. Like, hey,
no.
dude, this dude's not just Joe Blow from the street. Like, this dude's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, no, they just came out, man, and they enjoyed the music, and the stuff I was doing was probably about 90% country music, and I had some of my stuff that was backtracks. Some who had some of my new stuff that was backtracks. So and then we took off, man, and we started staying busy with that. And then we had our first Halloween party at our house. So we moved all the cars and set up in the driveway, a little bit bigger sound, some lights, smoke, and then Halloween came, and we were just playing out there. So everybody would bring their kids by us, and then by the time this is like this will be our third year we do it. Everybody comes out, they bring their golf carts.
So after they do the trick or treating, like, hey, we're gonna come back over here. Everybody comes back
they bring
around.
their drinks and just saying we'll play there. It's a little free concert. But then, of course, once we started doing that, I was playing at some bars.
No haters in the hood.
No
Karens.
No. They were good, man. Everybody was good because it was country music.
There's always one kid. There's got to be one like, hey.
It was country music. That's why. You understand? And I've been singing.
So what you're saying is, if you would have been singing,
I would have been singing. Just it might have been a different story, but it took off, man. It stayed real busy for us, and then I started doing some clubs, some little restaurants. I said, hey man, I want to come here and I want to do this. You don't have to pay me. I'll just put a tip jar up. Just want you to hear. So I went in there and we started doing it, and it took off. And then and then they were like, hey, can you get a full band? So from that evolved the Jukebox Preachers, which is your
countryside.
Yeah, and I had.
I like that name, Jukebox Preachers.
And I had to do that. I had to distinguish the names because if once we got rolling, it was like, okay, if I say Art Tigerina, well, people are going to expect Tejano music. You know what I'm saying? If I say Art Tigerina's playing, they're going to be disappointed. They'll be, oh, even with this, I still get, hey, can you play a Tejano song? And even though it's the same guys, because I wanted to keep my guys busy, and the musicians I have.
So it's the same band.
Same band. I just had an accordion player. So
yeah, so the accordion player gets screwed, bro. He only gets one check. He doesn't get two checks.
So and then like with the Preachers, I had a fiddle player. Mm-hmm. So people started saying, okay, this is the Jukebox Preachers, and it took off. So when we were playing these places, it just, and I tell my wife, we stay busy because, for one, by the grace of God, He's allowed us this gift to be able to do both genres,
right.
to be able to. And country music was my first love of music. If you want to go back, that was my first love of music. So it just
like you like George Strait or even older than that.
So quick story about myself. A lot of people don't. And I always tell the story at my shows because I feel it's very important for people to know where this came from, where my love of music came from. Besides my father being a musician, he was a musician, but he did Spanish music. So, but growing up, my mother was, she worked at a truck stop there in Bryan, and it was called the Truck Stop. And of course, it was back when it was small. So she was she worked the graveyard shift. She was a cook. And we couldn't afford a babysitter, and my dad was gone, so I couldn't stay at home. So, being a kid, so she would take me with her to work, and I would sleep there at the truck stop in the booths. So while she worked, and during that whole time, the cool thing about it was the truck drivers, would come in and they had the old jukebox, and they'd play stuff from George Jones, Loretta Lynn, Conway Twitty, Merle Haggard, all that stuff. So I was like, hey, this is cool music. Being a kid, I really dug it. I enjoyed the sound of the steel guitar and the fiddle. So that became the music that I really liked. So I kind of gravitated towards that. So And then later on, people would talk about this music. I said, yeah, I'm familiar with that music because I grew up listening to it. It was kind of spoon fed to me,
Right.
even though subconsciously it was. And
But your dad was straight was Spanish music.
And I really didn't. I got to hear him sing once in a while because I was so small. I was so young. I couldn't go into the cantinas and bars. But I do remember one time going with him to a little small town in that area it was a little town called Snook, Texas. I don't know if you ever heard of Snook.
No, I never heard of
Snook. A little small town, and it was a little grocery store, and in the back of the grocery store was like the secret bar, right? So it's just like members only type of thing. So that's what he would play. He'd go in this play, and I just would be there in the store for hours, just kind of hanging out and.
So the guys would go buy beer from the store and then bring it into the back of the thing?
Yeah, they go back to there. So, and that's where, that I would walk around and they had albums, and that's where the first album I ever got was Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues. That was my first album, the first song ever.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say crazy because I think country music, a lot of people, a lot of people here in Texas can relate to, it's probably their first love of music. Art, did you grow up speaking Spanish?
No, well, I tried. I tried. It's crazy because my parents didn't speak to me in Spanish. The only way that I really kind of started learning it was my parents had a couple of houses that they would rent to the boys that they would come from Mexico to work. Mm-hmm. So they'd come, and she had these two rent houses that she would rent to them. And during the summertime, when I was there at home, or they weren't working, I'd just kind of hang out with those guys, and I'd learn.
You pick it up from them.
Yeah, so that was kind of cool. And
just conversational Spanish, pretty much.
They teach me some. I teach them some words or whatever. And so it's just, and I believe that everything has its purpose in life. Everything has its purpose, and everything is put there to for future use, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I had a great childhood, man. I grew up in a small town. We didn't come from money or anything, but it was one of those deals where you didn't know that you didn't have an air conditioner in your house.
I mean, because nobody had one. Yeah, I mean, we grew up with fans in the windows too, But when did you? Who noticed you first that you could carry a note, you could sing? Well,
crazy thing is this: how I was I went to technical school, and it wasn't until later on. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't until later in life that I really started singing. The year was about 1986, 7.
So you were in your 20s?
I was out of high school. So I went to school in Houston, a technical school. Mm-hmm. And while I was there, I went to the mall there, and they had this little, remember those booths where you can go in and you can record yourself, and they give you the cassette?
They give you the cassette.
Yes. So I went in and I said, hey, I want to sing this song. It was just me by myself, just walking around, just doing nothing. So I went and sang Amarillo by Morning. And when I came out, they were playing it over the speakers on the outside of this kiosk, I guess. And the people out there were just clapping, and I was like, "Oh, that must sound pretty good." So I played.
Hey, so they're listening to you as they can hear you recording.
They can hear the recording. Wow. So then I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." So then I started saying, "Well, maybe I could sing a couple of songs." So I went to a couple of back then it was it was live. I guess live karaoke. They still have it now. They have a band playing, and you can get up there and sing with the band. So I would go to some little bars there in Houston and do that. They had like a opera house there in Conroe. I would drive over there, and it was like an actual opera house. They would have like different performers, and it was like a movie house that they pay to go in, and they'd see different. So I was one of the performers there, and I would do a couple of songs with them, and then eventually I got out of school, I finished school, so I moved back home.
Yeah,
and I did a few shows. I met some guys. A good friend of mine, his name was Alan Marbury. My very first country band was called Texas Image. And I remember walking to this place, a little beer joint. And I say beer joint because it was a beer joint. And I remember walking in there, and he was going to play. And I said, "Hey, man," it was just him. And back then he had this computer which had Cakewalk that's how long it's been. So he had tracks on there. He had the bass and the drum. So he played acoustic. And I asked him, I said, "Hey, would you mind if I sing a song with you tonight?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, can you sing?" And I was like, "Sure." So I sang acapella.
I bet if he remembers. I bet if the 56-year-old brain can remember, I bet.
Lord, it's been a long, long time. Well, this ain't no social call, so go ahead, get it off your mind. So
Hell
I sang
yeah.
that song to him. And he said, yeah, man, come on back. So I went back, and so I started jamming with him. And then he got a band, full band, so whatnot. So, from there, I was like, man, this is fun. Well, my brothers had a band, Tejano band. My brother Robert, and my brother John, they had a band called Tierra Mala. Which
And they were older than you.
They were older.
All
than
your
me.
older brothers.
So they were singers. My brother's a keyboard player. And my other brothers sang and played sax. So I was like, maybe I could try this Tejano stuff, that they're doing. So they were playing one day, and I said, hey, you mind if I sing a song with you guys? Because they had like a function coming up. I don't know, it was a wedding or something. And they were like, and my brother Robert, anybody who knew my brother Robert, he was just one of those guys that's straight to the point. He's like, and he goes, man, you don't know how to sing. And I said, yeah, I can sing, man. I can sing. So I said, all right, so what song do you want to sing? So I said, okay, let's do Pienso en ti. Quiero que tú sepas que yo
pienso en ti. Yeah.
So I was like, cool. So that was like my first Tejano song I ever sung.
So what did he say after you heard you sing?
He said, okay, man. So they called me up, and that was my first show. Did the Tejano song with my brothers. Tierra Mala was in Hearn, Texas. And
where the hell is Hearn, Texas at?
Hearn, it's in Bryan. It's about, it's like from Bryan, like go to Dallas, that area.
So I can't leave this for Jasmine because she can't see the red comments because they're from YouTube. But I have to ask you this before I forget. It said, Art, you being from Bryan, Texas, do you know what it means if you've been snookered?
Oh yeah. We're snookered, man. That's old like you've been like you've been snooked, you've been taken, you've been, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody got you.
That was from a guy up in Dallas. He has his own show too. It's called It's Tejano Time.
Oh, okay. Right
Yeah,
on, man. Right
buddy. He has back in the day, he used to do all the videos and stuff like that. And speaking of back in the day, dude, so you started there with your brothers. You got a taste of Tejano music. Before we go into your history in Tejano music, I want to talk a little bit about, Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. We do a lot of Tejano stuff. What's your take on Tejano, the genre right now?
Well, I think it's kind of like in different pieces, man. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it used to be. Of course, nothing is ever like it used to be.
I mean, dude, you were with the group that we're going to get into that was, what we would say now, I don't even know if what I'm going to say now is cool anymore, but it was on and popping.
Yeah, man.
Back in the day, you know what I'm saying? So I really would, what do you think? What do you think we're missing? Again, I never like to say so we can go back to being like it was in the 90s.
Sure.
That's not what I want to say. What I want to say is I want to make our music more relevant than what it is, and I want it to reach a younger crowd.
Sure.
The demographics of the show, I say this every so often on different episodes, we started off and it was nothing but 35 people and higher. And little by little, as the show's grown, it's starting to go down and we're starting to get more female. So it used to be like 80% male, 20% female, and all over the age of 35.
Sure.
So now we're getting them down to 25, right? And it's like a good 60-40, which I'm
Sure.
It's good because it's letting me know that people are starting to share it and other people are enjoying it. So going back to the music, I mean, what's Art Tigerina's take on Tejano music right now, where we stand, and what do we got to do to make it more relevant and make it grow?
Well, for me, and this is just my opinion, and I hope people don't take it, they take it with a grain of salt, but I think in order for it to grow back, we have to expand our audience to, it has to be more diverse, more to the younger crowd. We have to find some way to grab their attention. Two, we have to be more, we have to get the females more involved. And I know, I hear it all the time. Well, where's the females? Where are the females? And there are great female artists out there. But, I say but, because I've seen it firsthand. Whenever you have a female artist, no matter how good she is or anything, they don't have the support of the Tejanos, you know what I'm saying? And I've seen it, and I know for a fact. And there's a lot of great artists out there. There's a lot of great, up and coming artists. And the bad thing about that is that if they don't feel the support, if for instance, if I was a new artist and I said, hey, I'm trying my best, I got good music, I got good quality music, I got a good show, I got a good vibe, but nobody's paying attention to me, what are they going to do? They're going to quit.
Yeah, eventually you're going to quit. Eventually you're going to quit. Jasmine, you got any chats that you want to go over, Jazz?
No, I don't have anything here.
Oh, we'll just put you on the camera just so people know who you are. There you go. That's not Bumper Gomez and Art Tigerina. That's Jasmine. There's some right here. Destiny Nevada.
Oh, what's
yeah,
up?
Destiny Nevada. She's watching. She's like, on and popping. Next album name, called it.
On and popping. What's up, Destiny, man? It's good to see you. There we go, man. Destiny is a great performer.
Doing her thing,
She's doing her
dude.
thing, and that's the thing. It goes back to what I was saying. You have to find a niche. You have to find something and attack it and do it. You have to be something different. You have to get out there, whether it means moving to Mexico, whether it means going to wherever you want to go. Just do it.
See, Destiny, he follows you. He knows you're in Mexico. See that?
I know. I do because
She's grinding, bro. She's doing the work, and I think a lot of people, exactly what you said. Like, you can come onto the scene, you got good music, good musicians, but we're stuck in our old ways. Nobody gives you a chance. At the end of the day, it's like, man, I'm putting more money into it than what I'm getting, and that's cool if you're doing it for the love. But eventually, that love's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, God dang, man, I can't. Yeah, it's not gonna pay the bills. So. You're absolutely right, Art. I could not agree with you any more than that needs to happen. And the females, there's a lot of great artists. Sure. There's a lot of great female artists, and they're starting. The names are starting to pop up more. And I'm glad. With Shelly calling it her last year. We still got our powerhouses. We got Elida. We got Steph's. But I just want to be. I want it to be more popular. I want to be able to drive up and hear a young 18-year-old kid pumping gas, jamming an Art Tigerina song.
Yeah,
that makes my day. When I see young kids at the Conjunto Festival dancing with their parents or dancing with their girlfriends or whatever, and they're like 15, 16, 17, 18 years old.
Sure.
I'm like, hell yeah. It's growing. It's not as much as it used to be, but it's out there. People are listening to the music and stuff like that. And I just wanted to get you're an artist and you've lived through it. You've been there in the big old crowds and you're doing it now. So you see you're a person who can see the difference. Sure. From then and now. Do you have any like pet peeves with the industry right now?
I do, man. I do, and it's necessarily it has to do with promotions. People that are putting on these shows are bringing the same people, and I know that for a fact. I know it for a fact, and you can hate me, you can talk shit about me, but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm gonna be honest with you, because if you don't change and you become stagnant, if you don't make a change, then nothing's gonna happen. So these promoters that are bringing the same people, give someone else a chance. You might not, and I'm gonna go back to using me as a reference. If I'm a new person and I'm saying, hey man, I want to come play at your place, and it goes hand in hand, because the new artists have to say, you know what, I understand the sacrifice that I'm gonna have to make here. I can't go in demanding X amount of money if nobody knows who I am, and vice versa. The club owner promoter says, I'm not going to pay you that much money because nobody knows who you are. So it has to be a joint effort. So if they can say, you know what, you're a new band, I got these guys coming in, which are a seasoned band, should I say, and I want you to open up for them, but don't expect that band to come for free. So it has to be. You
got to meet them halfway.
It has to be a give and give. And I think if you do that, then more people will be more inclined to play the music. And you can't, promoters, club owners, do not get offended when bands are saying, hey man, you have to pronounce my name right, or you have to address my band as this name, or you have to use a certain picture. Don't use pictures of me when I was freaking 25 years old, or don't, because it becomes like people that see me now that didn't know me back then. If they were to see a picture of me back then, they go, "Who's that guy? Who is that?" You know what I'm saying? So you have to stay with that, and it has to be a professional deal. Say, okay, I have this event coming up. I have a management team. We have my wife's my manager. She's my wife. She's my partner. So be courteous and send that information to my wife. Hey, this is what I'm going to put out there. This is the poster I'm going to put. Is this okay with you? Can you check off on this? And she'll tell you, yeah, this is good. It's a good deal. So it has to be communication.
I mean, I do it as a show. I do it like with your wife. I was speaking. She's here to vouch for it. Like I said, hey, can you send? I always tell all the artists, can you send me your pictures that you want to use, because I want to use what. I don't want to put something, like you said, put something up from 20 years ago and be like, damn, bro, that's not even me. I don't even dress like that
exactly,
anymore,
bro,
or whatever the case may be.
Exactly.
So, Jasmine, there's a long post on there, and I don't want to pass it up because they took a long time to write that.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? Okay, I'll read it. It's from Vanessa Salinas Sanchez. You know who that is?
Nope.
Vanessa Salinas Sanchez is on the committee for the Milwaukee Mexican Fiesta up there in Milwaukee. And so she's like, Art has one of the best voices in the onda. My sister didn't like Tejano music. She was more regional Mexicana. And one day I played her the opening song from the Electric Cowboys and Grupo Vida live album. When Art started singing Esa Mujer, my sister jumped ship. She loves Tejano thanks to Art.
Awesome, that's great.
That live album is also one of her favorites, and also killed her performance at the he also killed his performance at the Mexican Fiesta in Milwaukee. I have video of him and Shelly and Roel Martinez singing Journey, Don't Stop Believing. I'll have to send it to you, the video. So
awesome.
you played at the Mexican Fiesta.
I have. I was a special guest with Tejano Highway 281 was the backing band. They called me and said, "Hey man, you want to come to Milwaukee?" And I said, "Sure." And anytime I could do something like that.
How was the crowd, Art?
Oh, it was great. They were, anytime we go somewhere where, and that's another thing. Here in Texas, Tejano music is so abundant that sometimes we forget.
We're spoiled.
How precious it is when you go to another country.
Another state,
another country.
It is another country. Milwaukee's another country.
And they really appreciate that.
Yeah.
So, but it was great, man. The people there, everyone in Milwaukee, everywhere we go out of state, everywhere, and including Texas, everyone is very hospitable and everybody's real nice to help us what we're doing. So if you guys didn't know, Art joined a band that, out of that band, I mean, I can name 3 people that are still out grinding, doing their thing, that came from that band. And Art was one of them. And that band brought so much joy to people, man. So before Cumbia Kings, before, I can't even. Anybody that brings a live energy, you know what I mean, that you could think of. Before all that, there was Grupo Vida. Grupo Vida, I can't go without giving props to Eddie Gonzalez, because Eddie Gonzalez was the front man for Grupo Vida, and started that whole dancing synchronicity.
Electric Cowboy, dog.
So that being said, Grupo Vida was a totally different deal, man. It was a different thing. We'd come on stage and we would just give 110% for the full, however long it
Art,
was.
let me ask you, because I seen you in the prime of doing this. You fuckers had to have worked out, dude.
Well,
like cardio. You there's no way y'all were going up there for an hour and a half doing that much energy and still be able to sing.
Well, this was a much younger days. So, but my friend, it was the energy. The people brought the energy, and that was our pre-workout. You know, the energy from the people, and we knew what we were going to go do. And the bigger the crowds, the more energy. Matter of fact, Grupo Vida went on tour with the Dixie Chicks. We went on tour with them. We were the opening band on the Fly tour. And
Are you serious?
Yeah,
for real?
Yeah, we were on the Fly tour in 2000. We were the opening band for the Dixie Chicks. We toured with them nationwide, and so
Playing Tejano music.
playing Tejano music.
That's
so
what someone said.
Yeah.
He said we went on tour with the chicks together. Raymond.
Oh yeah, Raymond Rizzo. Yeah, Raymond Rizzo. He was our merchandise consultant, so to say. But you know, we went. That was a
I
crazy
learn
deal.
something new every day.
That was
crazy.
a crazy thing, you know. And when we went. It all got set up. Our first show was in Ames, Iowa, and I remember getting there, and of course, these are like arenas, big places,
right?
You know, Dixie Chicks were. So I said, hey man, you know what? If they don't dig the Tejano stuff, we just do some country stuff. It's cool. So we did sound check, and it was very nerve wracking because I was sick. I had my throat was sick. It was in the wintertime. It was cold. So we did a song, and then we did a country song. For
Wait a
sound
minute.
check.
You didn't call your brother and from a payphone there, did you?
no.
Because I mean, you just fucking did it right there, La Bamba de Madre. Like I was in Iowa, my throat was fucking. It was cold. The heater on the bus was broke. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you brought right.
So we did the show, and then we walked back to the back, and then Emily, which is one of the chicks. She was like, man, you guys are great. You sound great. But here's the deal. We just want you to do Tejano music. And I was like, oh, shit. So
So now
so Ames, Iowa,
your scapegoat is gone.
Yeah, so like, shit, man, what are we going to do? So, you know, we did what we did best. You know, we said, we're going to go out there and we're going to do our thing. So we're going to get out there and we're going to do our thing. We're going to just pump these people full of energy. And sure enough, man, we got out there and we do. And granted, you know, those. You know, the crowd was not of Hispanic origin.
In Iowa, I would expect.
So you know, we get out there. We're like, okay, so let's just do this thing. So, but you know, after about the first 4 songs, man, they were just having a good time. We were showing them how to throw gritos, and the cumbia was getting up and dancing, and so afterwards, it was success. They came back. You know, for like someone as big as the Dixie Chicks, so the Chicks now, they came and they congratulated us, and this was, and it was, you know. And
so Art, how is like you guys being on stage looking down at a crowd that probably never heard Tejano music in their life? Like, what was the feedback, the energy from the crowd? I mean, they got into it.
They got into it, yeah. You know, and here's the cool thing about that whole show, man, is their musicians. When we weren't touring with them, because we still had our prior engagements and commitments to do. So when we weren't touring with them, they would have Willie Nelson, and then the Maines brothers, which was Natalie Maines, their dad.
Mm-hmm.
They would open. So, but when we'd play their band, which is, you know, these guys are monster musicians in Nashville, big. They'd go and they'd sit in the front row,
just to hear you guys.
They'd watch us play, and they told us, man. And so whenever what, make his hand sings. What'd you say? Oh yeah. They let us use their whole production. You know, we were able to take our own sound man with us, and so it was great, man. It was fun, you know, seeing the people out there just having a good time, especially on the cumbias. They gave us their lights, so it brought to the whole show. Yeah. So that was a great experience that you know, that I got, and was really cool. Of course, really a milestone for me in my career.
Well, you're the second. This is the second time I've ever heard a artist country person taking a Tejano person on the road and opening up for him. I mean, I know Emilio and his group, they were with Alan Jackson on a tour.
Yes, they did, but it was a country show. They did a country.
So it was all. He's saying he didn't sing no Tejano during.
I don't know. You know, I can't. I don't know if he did or not, but I think it was.
Hey, if somebody went to old Emilio and Alan Jackson concert, let me know if you remember them doing any kind of Tejano here in the comments.
But yeah, that was a great time, man. You know, it was you know, and you know, the last show was actually in San Antonio. We played at the Alamo Dome, so that was really cool, man.
So when you were with them and Eddie was with them, you were segundos or what?
No, I came after Eddie.
So Eddie left and then you
Yeah,
you came in.
I came in, and it was very it was very like, okay, Eddie left and want you to come in and fill these shoes, and Eddie was a great performer, and I was just like, okay, so this was like my first big gig with a band that was already established like that. I'd been with other smaller bands that I played,
Right.
so I came in and and it was kind of for me at that moment, I was like, okay, this is not really my bag. That style is not my bag.
Not your cup of tea.
Not my cup of tea. But I said, you know what? This is my chance to get my foot in the door. And sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna follow this until I'm able to make my own to blaze my own path. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I can actually
Yeah.
to give who I am.
Who you are, and people see you as a front man. They know, like, hey, this guy's been there. He's been there, done that.
Sure.
Art, how many years did you stick around with Grupo Vida, man?
About 17 years, bro. It was a long time.
17 years.
We were together for a long time, and it was the same guys. Pretty much for the majority of the time. Of course, after Manny left, Roger Vasquez, which was the sound guy at the time, who's now my bass player, he came and played bass for a while. And then Rick Vega came in. Rick is the bass player for Marcos Orozco. Michael Molini came in, which was the keyboard player for Marcos Orozco. And
Marcos Orozco.
Joel Vasquez is Roger Vasquez's brother. He played accordion. But those guys, it was just a constant. It was just constantly going, man, and we had a good time, and it was fun, and it was something that I will always be part of who I am and what I did in this career. But like anything, you move on. And if there's a time when everything comes to an end, you have to move on.
And everything good has an ending, right?
Sure,
I mean,
sure.
we say we want stuff to last forever, but I've come to see that in the Tejano industry, that something that's badass that you think would live forever is eventually gonna die on. And it really doesn't matter how it fizzles or how it comes. It just does. You know what I mean? Everybody takes their own path, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they're each putting a foot in front of one another, and they're going down their own path, doing their own thing.
And you have to do. At the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you and your family. Even though for many years you sacrificed for this band.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's lots of stuff and at the end of the day, you're like, okay, well, so what's next? After you've reached a certain peak, you're like, okay, what's next? What are we doing?
So when you left Grupo Vida, what happened? What happened to Art Tigerina?
Well, Art Tigerina took a break for about a year.
I mean, 17 years. I mean, you deserved a break for sure. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, we took a break for a while, and things were kind of really rocky as far as that goes. It was just one of those things where, like, oh, you can't play, blah blah, and you have this clause in this contract, you can't do this thing for 99 years or some bullshit like that. I don't know what it was, something dumb. So anyway, so we're like, at the end of the day, we're like, hey, you know what? Let's do something. Let's just see what happens. So we put it out there, and it just, people are like, oh man, So the thing is too, and it was kind of like a beginning because, excuse me, even though I was with the band so many years, people recognized my face and they knew I was a bald guy,
right?
But they didn't know my name, so they were just, oh, that's the bald guy with Grupo Vida, or they knew my voice. So we, that kind of went back and forth, but we moved forward in a positive way. And the first show for us was at Fanfare there in San Antonio. So and then it just took off, and it's just one of those things where it goes back to appreciating what you built. You built your name, and people see that, and
They respect you for that.
and they respect and
Yeah.
respect, and that's the thing is, once you do something for a long time, and getting into this industry back, and it was hard. There was no. I mean, this was before, of course, Grupo Vida.
Right.
There was no social media. There was nothing like that. So
So, Art, let me ask you a question that I know it's probably been in the chat room for quite. It's probably been asked a couple of times. And me being a Tejano fan and having this platform, well, fuck, I'm gonna ask it. You know what I mean? Could there ever be a chance?
Well,
He's like, no. So
I knew that was a question that was coming. I had prepared for
Yeah,
that.
someone said it in the chat room.
So here's the thing.
So the question is, because people are like, well, what's the question? The question was, would there ever be a Grupo Vida reunion, or would they ever get back together and hit the road again?
With me as a vocalist.
With you as a vocalist.
You know, I don't think that there can ever be a original Grupo Vida reunion, being that as long as the management is involved, that'll never happen. And then the management's family members were part of the band, I don't think he would ever do it. So that's probably a hard no. Mm-hmm. But as far as the rest of the guys, and I stay friends with the other guys, because I mean, you know, just
dude, 17 years you spent on the road with these guys. I mean, it's like your brothers, bro. Sure. You know, some people don't even spend 17 years with their own siblings. You know what I'm saying? So,
and we're still. I mean, the majority of us are still friends, but you know, everybody has their own thing now. You know, and I know they did a show with Eddie Gonzalez recently at Fanfare, and that was supposed to spark some kind of deal with Eddie Gonzalez and Grupo Vida, but you know, in order to have a true reunion, you have to have the key players in place. Sonny Saucedo is a key player of Grupo Vida. You know, so if you don't have, without me, you have Eddie Gonzalez, but you don't have Sonny Saucedo.
Or you have Sonny and not Eddie.
It's not a whole deal. So, you know, and I say that out of respect for what I stood for when I left the band and for my family. And I can't go back and say, oh well, you know. So it wasn't a good breakup. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of things were said. A lot of roadblocks were trying to put in my way. So I had to overcome that. So and you know, some people say, well, you got to look past the past, and sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't. And I believe that, you know. And here's the thing, man, is if my wife was to say, and I was saying, I'm not trying to be, my wife is a huge part of what I do. If she was to tell me, you know what, let's do it. Let's do it. But as long as she's not okay with it, I'm not okay with it. You know, and that's just the way I see things.
That's out of respect, man.
That's out of respect.
I mean, she's managing your you know what you're doing, so you have to respect her in a sense like that, and she's your wife, so sure. You know what I mean. Art, so you dibble dabble now with the Jukebox Preachers, some country, and you brought in the guitar tonight.
Yeah.
And there's people on here. Hey, Bump, have them play a song. Well, okay, we'll have them play a song, but you know, where's the tip jar, vato? Nombre.
Let me give a cash app real quick.
There you go. Get your cash app out. Is there a country song that you just that you love to sing, or you know, one of yours, dude? One of you.
Yeah, you know, I do, and this song was actually it was a Tejano song, it was a cumbia. It was called Porque Te Quiero. So to this day, you know, I every time I go somewhere, and it's crazy because you know we as Grupo Vida we had tons of songs, and to this day, whenever we go somewhere, they always, hey, I need you to play this song, and then my first reaction is because I love you, and they're like, yep, that's the song they want to hear. And because, you know, and the crazy thing about this song is it touched a lot of people. You know, people have gotten together, first dances, first country that people have gotten to because of this music,
because of that song.
And so it's one of the songs that I still to this day include in my sets. You know, whether I'm playing the Art Tigerina band or I'm playing Jukebox Preachers. So yeah, man,
that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, you buy it for the fans, man. Sure. Art Tigerina's in the house. If you guys just joined us late, he's been around the business for a long, long time. The Art Tigerina band for all my Tejano fans and for my country fans, the Jukebox Preachers. Here's a little something from Mr. Art Tigerina.
Let me tune this baby up real quick. So it was tuned up, but I don't know what's going on. And then of course my tuner's almost dead. But what is here? So yeah, man. You know. We're going to keep on doing music, man, you know, whether it's, 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 you country music, Tejano music, or whatever it is, man. We just want to keep bringing music to the people. Sorry, folks.
You all right? Hey, this is Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. You never know what you're going to get. Hey, buddy, you going to close the door? All right. Thank you.
Sorry, folks. I was messing with this guitar yesterday. I just got another guitar, and I was messing with that one, and I forgot to tune this one before I came.
El Chris Tristan. Sing it, Artie.
Chris Tristan. Great people, man. Him and his family, they were like family with us, And
so you done a lot of boat tours with those guys.
yeah, we had good times, man.
The cruises.
Cruises, yeah. We
somebody's streaking on Bumper's Wacky Wednesday. That was the famous little Jacob made his appearance.
Hold on a second, man.
It's loud?
It's hard for me to know. It's hard for me to hear.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry, folks. It's always that damn G string at the bass. So how long you been doing? Let me ask you a question while I'm doing this.
How long I've been doing what?
This show.
The show? I've been doing the show for some guys like, hey, bro, the Marine in me is wanting you to straighten out the picture that's behind your head. It's because I reached back and turned on the on air. That's why. I've been doing it, man, for about 2 years since COVID hit. The first kind of week where America really shut down and people got sent home and nobody was working. I got a beer bottle and a phone and went live with the help of my kids. We got hammered. And we were playing music, and then people were like, yo, you got to do this again. I said, well, not tomorrow. So we did it again. It was just so happened to be on a Wednesday.
And that's how it happens, man.
We got some coupons from Hungry Howie's. It's a pizza place out from Florida, but they have one here in San Antonio. We went and got Hungry Howie's, and they have a special. It's called Wacky Wednesday, a Wacky Wednesday special. So I was looking at like, people, what are you going to call it? I said, I don't. It's going to be called Bumper's Wacky Wednesday, and the shit just stuck, so I've never changed it, man.
That's how we got the Jukebox Preachers. The Jukebox Preachers, and it's kind of ironic because, I mean, I'm a big George Strait fan, but there's some songs that I really don't dig too much. And one of his songs that is called God and Country Music. God and Country Music. So I was like, it's a okay song, but there's this part in there that says something about Jukebox Preachers. And I was saying, that's a cool name for a band. That's a cool name for
That's a cool name, dude. You would think that'd be a name that somebody would have taken already, but duh.
But, so there's a song I wrote a long time ago, man. And is that too loud?
Are you good?
There's a song called Because I Love You. They say that all good things must end, love is no exception. I've learned it from experience when I lost her to deception. I hope someday she'll understand it was on a bad mistake. She asked why I should be her man. This is what I had to say. Because I love you. Because I need you. Because I'm sorry. Girl, I didn't mean to. Because I trust you. Someday you'll trust me too. But until then, I'll spend each day and night improving my love for you. You'll understand me, baby, for one night of regret. I'll give you the world, make it up to you, then help you to forget. You might not want to hear this now, but listen to what I say. I mean every word of it. And I'll show you every day because I love you, because I need you, because I'm sorry, girl, I didn't mean to, because I trust you. Someday you'll trust me too. But until then, I'll spend each day and night proving my love for you. For the Spanish-speaking folks.
Hell yeah.
Here you go. Desde que amanezca el día hasta la oscuridad y siempre en mis sueños tu figura estará. Quiero decirte algo, te lo juro, mi amor. Si vivo 1000 años, te llevo en mi corazón, porque te quiero. Es que te extraño, aunque te encuentres en otros brazos, porque te espero, siempre pensando en ti, esperando al momento que tú regresarás a mí, yeah. Oh baby, because I love you, because I need you, because I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. There you go, man.
Damn, that was nice. You wrote that song?
Yeah, I wrote that song.
So there's a guy on here, you might know him, Memo Rincon.
Yeah, I know.
You know, Memo's
awesome,
like,
super awesome.
yeah, he's like, I love that song. He didn't know that he didn't know that you wrote that song. And then I want to apologize. I said this guy's on here telling me that the picture's about him, and it's actually a female. So I apologize for that. The comments are very, very far
Sonia?
from me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sonia's a great friend.
She's like, I'm a WM. Yeah. I said, I'm sorry.
Sonia's been a friend of ours for many years. She since the beginning of Grupo Vida days. So really appreciate your friendship. She's a Marine also. So
here's a beautiful comment. This is from some of my buddies they're barbecuers. I don't know if that's the right word, barbecuers. But they're the barbacoa bandits. And this comment is I don't maybe you guys can, I don't know if it'll let you see it. Maybe it says I'd put Art's country music over most of what's coming out of Nashville these days. Fight me. That's awesome, man. So thanks, Barbacoa Band. That's an awesome comment, man. You know, Art has some just amazing. His voice is unique. You have one of those voices that when you hear it, you know it's you. Like you're like, oh, it could be so and so. No, that's Art. That's Art Tigerina right there. Like, you know what
crazy,
I mean?
Man, I have people that come up to me at the shows, like when we play at, like, say, Market or downtown. They're like, man, I heard your voice from across the deal. I knew it was you. Or like we played a show. We played a Buda Fest at the Crawfest in Buda the other day, and so we were playing with Jukebox Preachers, and the sound guy comes up to me. He goes, man. He goes, you sound like this guy that I used to listen to, man. He used to play with Grupo Vida. And I said, that's me.
All right, what is one of the most before we call it a night, I have to have you play this song.
Which one?
It's another country song. Empty Glass.
Oh yeah.
That song. If you guys have never heard this song, you're definitely gonna want a bottle, a drink, get you something cold to drink, whatever, because this is there you go. This is a beautiful, beautiful song, man.
Yeah. This is a great song. First time I heard it was Gary Stewart. Empty Glass, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we played this show in a little town a little restaurant that we play at in Driftwood. The Driftwood. So Gary Stewart was the originator of this song, right? So his there was some ladies there that were recording that were friends of the Stewart family. They were friends still with his sister. So they showed the recording that we do, and they took her the recording, and she said, next time you see me, which was the next time that I talked to them, was they told me that she said that Gary Stewart would have been proud of this rendition, which is really cool.
Hell yeah, dude, that's badass.
So the Empty Glass, it's a great song. See that? An empty glass, last cigarette, closing time. I'm drunk again, but somehow I make it home and cry myself to sleep. That's the way my dance every night for me. Oh, you wanted the whole song?
No, you're good. Hey, what is before we let you put your guitar down? What's your favorite Tejano to sing acoustically like that?
Man, you know, I don't. Crazy thing is that I don't play the acoustic on Tejano. I don't know. It's just a different chord stuff. So I really don't play
But dude, that's cool. I mean, you know what I mean? That is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different deal, but
they say Tejano artists are some of the hardest. They're some of the hardest working artists in all kinds of
genres.
the genres, man.
For
Yeah,
sure.
Tejano music is one of the hardest ones to learn and play.
I know that because my guys. I want to give a shout out to my guys that are just fantastic musicians. You know, Roger Vasquez, bass player. Roger's been with me for many, many years from the Grupo Vida days. Of course, there's Art Tigerina band. He's a bass player for the Jukebox Preachers. Phenomenal musician. Plays both the country and the Tejano exceptionally well. Panchito Villarreal, which is my keyboard player, many years with the Milo Nevada. He's toured with him. He's been around. He was actually the owner of, I guess, one of the ones that started Grupo Rodeo back in the day. So fabulous keyboard player, great friend. And then, of course, I have one of the newest members, Mr. Joey Sanchez. Joey's played with him and Panchito. Crazy story real quick. Him and Panchito were the originators of Grupo Rodeo. He was a drummer. So I went and auditioned with those guys. I did a couple of shows with him when I was first starting to.
With Rogelio, or Rogelio was already gone?
I think he was there.
He was still there?
Way back in the beginning, yeah. So that was a cool deal. Joey, of course, he came from Marcos Orozco, great drummer. Then I have my guitar player, and I always joke with him because he's this white guy out of Bandera, and I say the white guy, I always give him a hard time, but he plays a great guitar player. Matter of fact, he was playing with Tracy Bird for a little while.
Wow!
So he does phenomenal music, and he says, you know what, I want to learn to play Tejano music, so he plays with my Tejano band. So it's pretty much all the same guys. The accordion player, I have different accordion players that do play with me. Of course, my good friend Mr. J.R. Ramos. He's got a group called Grupo Maldá. He's out of Houston, Texas. Phenomenal accordion player, great group. Also, J.R. Gomez helps me out a lot. Alejandro de Leon, he was he was jamming with me for a while. He was with Jay Perez. So it's always good to know great musicians, man. It's always good not to burn those bridges because you never know when you might need them. So along the way, you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody out there who's helped me along the way. From the very beginning. And I always say this real quick because when I first moved to San Antonio, I left my hometown. I lived in my car for about 3 months. I was homeless. My goal was to become a Tejano musician, and I got here, no social media, no one. I had a cassette with backtracks on it, and I would go to these different bars, and I'd ask the DJ if he could play it, and I would get in the dance floor and I'd sing. And I would sleep in my car, and now I go back to San Antonio, and I was like, man, did I really sleep out here in my car? Some of the rough places, but I always
That's fucking grind. That's dedication. That's grinding. So those artists that are watching Art right now, like, would you do that? Think about it. Are you that dedicated to what you want to do that you would get up and leave everything that you know, everything that you love, go to a city where you know nobody? Back in the times, like what you're saying is deep, bro. Like back in the day, there was no GoFundMe's. There was you know what I'm saying? Like you're on your own. You know what I'm saying? You got to make a buck. You got to get yourself something to eat. But at the same time, you're still trying to make it and somebody pick you up, dude. So that's amazing, bro. Yeah, that's amazing.
Being a mechanic by trade, I had a little toolbox in the back of I had a 1976 Chevrolet Caprice, big car. So it was good for me because I had a big old back seat I could sleep in. And I just, and it's crazy because I don't know to this day how I did it. And I do know it was my mother's prayers that always kept me safe. I never was afraid. I never was scared to say, you know what, I'm not going to make it tomorrow. I never had a doubt in my mind that something bad was going to happen to me. Every day was, I got to get out and make some money to put gas in this car. And then I'm going to go back real quick. You got a second?
You got it.
I'm going to go way back. So I guess, every kid, you growing up, you singing in the mirror, So my parents used to go to San Juan a lot.
Yeah, San Juan,
the old church. So I'll go with them. And one day I got there and I was like, I want to be a singer. I thought of myself, I want to be a singer. So, and this was just the innocence of a child, right? So I was, 10 years old, whatever. I don't know how old it was, but I went to the where you feel the little.
You did a promesa.
And I said, and I got some in my hand, and I asked the beater, and I said, if I drink this holy water, will you make me a good singer? And I said, I know you was, and I drank it. And I'm still trying to be a good singer, but I believe that one day.
Hey, dude, that just gave me the chills on my arms, bro.
That's just true. That's just honesty, man. I believe that, that my journey has not ended. I told my wife the other day, I said, things are to come. I know it. I feel it in my soul. And I just posted a picture today. We were at this fancy restaurant. I took a picture in front of this G-Wagon, and I posted today. I said, if you believe in yourself, be positive thinking, and you claim this, that it will come to you. And I believe that, man. I believe that anybody can do whatever you want to do. If you got to have the will to want to do it, and there's going to be falls, there's going to be, there's going to be blessings, but for every blessing that is not going to last forever, it's going to come back. There's going to be another fail. But for every fail, you're going to get a blessing. And I believe that. And I believe that everybody keeps that same energy, and what you're doing, you can accomplish whatever you want to do.
Dude, that's why I love this freaking show, dude. Where in a million years would you hear Art Tigerina give you words like that? Deep. Like, I'm being real. I'm not tooting my own horn here on the show, but I mean, this is what I love to do, because I love that the people get to see another side of Art Tigerina, the guy behind the beard, right?
Sure.
And people get to just see how, like, people come on here and say how humble you are. You know what I'm saying? That you're very down to earth. And I say that about a lot of most of my friends that are artists. That a lot of these guys are really humble, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not out here like, hey, check. They just love music, and it just so happened that they got popular doing it.
Sure, man.
But at the end of the day, you put all that popularity aside, they just love music, dude. Yeah, like that's what I love about it. Familia Aguilar, they're
great people.
Great people. He's like, no, hombre, Art Tigerina cost me money every time we go to watch him, because my wife always has to tip him $100 for each song he sings. He says I walk out of those shows broke as shit.
But and I believe that if you show you're genuine to people, they sense it. And they it's like anything. You always smell the bullshit from people.
Quick.
You meet people and you're like, and being in this industry, I've smelled a lot of bullshit.
You ain't got a lie to kick it.
You got a lie, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit here and promise me the world when I know you ain't gonna pull through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's be honest with me. This is, oh man, I'm gonna do this for you. I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
Give me a call in a week and we'll talk. I'm still waiting.
The phone call never comes, right?
Yeah. But you know, and I think there are people out there that generally want to help you, but then you know, there's always that, you know, you always have to protect yourself, and you say, okay, and it's just being human. You know, you want something from me. What do you want from me in return? Nothing's for free.
Right.
Nothing's ever for free. No matter what people say, oh man, you don't owe me nothing. You won't. There's always something. You know, and I've learned that, and I believe that.
I'm glad, bro, that, you know, even it's been just for a little bit of time that I've got to sit down and chat with you, and that the people can just see another side of you.
Sure, man.
You know what I mean?
I want people to know that if I'm ever at a restaurant, I'm sitting there eating with my family, don't come up and bother me. No,
be real, dude. Because
I'm just playing.
I wouldn't like. I mean, I'm
just joking with no. You know, and I've had people come say, "Hey, man, you know," I'm just joking, folks.
He's not. Don't bother. Let him eat.
No, I've had people come to me and they're like, you know, and just sometimes I don't feel like, because sometimes I sense it as a sense of arrogance if I do say, other people say that they'll be like, "Hey, man, you look like that dude, man. Dude, the singer, that Art Tigerina guy." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, a lot of people tell me that." Like, "Yeah, man, you look like that guy." Oh, man.
Just not to be bothered, El Vato.
No. But I always, and they're like, "Oh, man, that's cool." But, and you know, and I have the crazy thing. This was years ago. This dude comes up to me, and it wasn't even about me. So I'm at a Taco Bell waiting, and I see this guy looking at me, and I'm like, he must recognize me for the band. So he's looking at me for a while. And it's, you know, of course, the homeboy from Southside or whatever. So he comes out, he goes, "Hey, Holmes." "Hey, what's going on, man?" "You look like that Vato, Holmes." "What guy?" "You know, the guy, Vato." "What guy?" "You know, that guy, Dan Diesel." Dan Diesel. Even when I didn't have a beard, you know, I was like, "Oh, yeah." But no, I'm just in all seriousness, man, I believe that if you see me around and about, man, come say hi. You know, don't be like, "Oh, this guy's gonna go talk to me," because I will. But usually I look like this or whatever, you know. Or even at the shows, you know, a lot of people were like, "Well, you know, they didn't want to go say hi to you because of whatever reason it is."
Right.
I'm always down to talk to people, man. I always take the time. Sometimes I'm late on stage because I'm talking to people. As you can tell, I love to talk, man.
No, hey, bro, that's what it's about.
It helps me express who I am through you guys, through you, and I appreciate that, man, because a lot of people would never got to see it. You know, a lot of people just see me and they're like, you know, and sometimes people, they see you and they don't know you, but they kind of classify you as, you know, maybe an arrogant, or they put you in a class like, okay, he's a musician, he's this, he won't talk to you.
I say this every week, Art. The minute you grab a guitar and you walk up them steps to a stage, I don't care if there's 50 people or 1 million people. The minute you get on that stage, ese vato tiene feria.
Yeah, right, yeah.
They dudes, you know what I mean? Like it could be a C band, B band, or an A band. If you get on that stage, that's the mentality of the world. Man. They don't know that these guys work 9 to 5 jobs, busting their ass just like we do. They just do this for like a hobby and for the love of music, and to make some extra cash for their family. You know, and with that being said, we have to support our musicians. You know, before we call it a night, me and my daughter, we're gonna like haul ass out of here in a minute, because there's people waiting for us at Far West. If you're in San Antonio,
you already have my message, right? You have my message that I sent with you over there.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Yeah, that is there. Okay, don't say it then, bro.
All right, I won't. So, I was telling Art, I'm kind of upset with the world right now. It's my show. I can say what I want. I'm upset with the world a little bit because of what happened in Uvalde. You know, we haven't had, I love the background. That's good right there. We haven't had, and if you correct me if I'm wrong, I'm okay. I can be wrong sometimes. But I'm a firm believer that if this tragedy would have happened anywhere else besides South Texas, there'd be telethons, there'd be country music artists throwing huge benefit concerts, rappers would be having all kinds of concerts, all the proceeds would go to the families. I haven't seen one, not one. But it's okay. We're okay without you guys. You know what I mean? We're Texans. We're Tejanos. We take care of our own. And with that being said, tonight's one of many concerts that are going to be coming in the next few weeks that are going to raise money for the people of Uvalde and the families. And so tonight we're starting off with Far West. Shout out to Rudy Lopez and all his people down there. They're doing 100% proceeds go to the families of the kids there in Uvalde. And we want to see you out there, man. $10. They're going to be there till 2:00. You got Ramirera, you have Macizo, you have the Conjunto Cats, you got my buddies, Los Chicanos. It's just going to be a good time, man. I'm going to haul ass out there. But I really wanted to say that and get it off my chest. I'm really upset with that world, because why else? I mean, why is nobody doing that? I mean, this would have been a New York City school or a Miami, Florida school. People would be all over it. But here we are in lonely South Texas, and we got Matthew McConaughey.
Well,
Like,
he's from there.
yeah, I mean, he's from there, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know. It's just me. So Tejano music, our own cultura, our own Texans, they're coming together, and we're gonna do it. So again, man, if you guys can go out there and support that, one, you're supporting Tejano music. Two, it's for a good cause. And tonight, I know it's a Wednesday, it's a work week, but hey, dude, we're Tejanos. We can party and get up in the morning and work. That's what we do.
That's right, man.
Right. So, Art, with that being said, man, is there any final things that maybe, you know, using the platform that you'd want to talk about or kind of get off your chest, or, you know, just some thank yous or whatever. You know, I know you did all your shout outs to your band, but, you know, anybody else or?
Yeah, man. I just want to conclude that we also are doing a benefit in Eagle Pass on Saturday night. So we'll be out there, and the name of the place is the Backyard. We'll be out there. So if you're in that area, come out and support.
Art Tigerina band or the
Art Tigerina band, yes.
Okay, cool.
And with that being, you know, like I said, Art Tigerina band, Jukebox Preachers is my country band. So whenever you see Jukebox Preachers, it's going to be a all country band. Art Tigerina band, of course, is Tejano and country. But we really would appreciate your support on both ends. In Tejano, in the music industry altogether. And also a shout out to just everybody behind the scenes of our camp, you know, Gilbert and Bertie Machuca, to Sonia, to the Tristans, to Raymond Rizzo, everybody at Raymond Rizzo, all those guys that are always there supporting us and what we do. And if I didn't say your name, please don't take offense to that. I just appreciate all that. I appreciate the support throughout the years, from the very beginning of Art Tigerina, Algo Suave. That was my first Tejano group. So we'll have to come back and talk about those days. But to now, to today, you know, the time is flies by so fast. So, you know, get out there and do something positive for yourself, for your family, for others. If you can help others in any way, anything that you think is a small gesture could be something huge to someone else. So we encourage you to do that. Support the music, support each other, and just be kind to each other. You know, I think this world will be so much better. I saw something the other day that said, instead of, and this was for the man, instead of looking across a room and mad dogging somebody, why don't you go say, hey man, shake his hand, how are you doing? Because you don't know what kind of day this guy's having.
Did y'all hear that? I'm going to do that tonight.
Right?
Jasmine, if I don't do it, say, Dad, you didn't do it. You know? And my kids are like, Dad, they always tell me, Dad, why do you look like that? You always look like you're pissed off at the world. It's because I am pissed off at the world.
Sure, man.
Right? But you're right. Like, why mad dog? And our cultura, dude,
Yeah, it's like,
you know, Chicanos, we're the worst, bro. You know what I mean? You're right, dude.
Yeah.
No,
Smile.
you have a bad staring problem.
See?
I'm like, can you not? You're going to get jumped.
See, if I was to see you and you were looking at me like that, I'd be like, hey, what's up, man? But,
So I'm gonna do that, man. Art, you have so many people on there saying that they love you, bro. You know, great show. Let's see.
Jason Martinez is a huge part of Grupo Vida also. Fantastic. He's got his own thing called Jace Martin also. A plug out for him. And, you know, fantastic vocalist, fantastic guitar
Country
player.
music?
Country music. He's got Jay Smart. He's also doing like an 80s, 90s thing.
Tell him to hit me up, dude.
Yeah,
I haven't
he's
had
on
an
there right
80.
now.
I haven't had a. Hey, message me, brother. I haven't had an 80s, 90s kind of music. You know what I'm saying? And before we get off, I want to give a big thank you to my beautiful daughter Jasmine for. Well, she didn't do too much. She didn't do too many comments tonight, but she's here helping me out, and she's going to be my designated driver. Tonight. Well, she think I don't even drink. I don't even drink when I go out. But Sonia Barbosa, Parish, Ura, Semper Fi, Devil Dog, and yeah, man.
But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you, everybody behind that's in the industry. Like I said, you know, artists out there, don't give up. Promoters, club owners, don't give up. Find a way to make it work and make something happen. There's always a way to make something happen.
For sure.
To my wife, of course, she's the backbone of what I do. You know, we bump heads a lot on stuff because I got a different mindset. She's got a very smart mindset, and mine's just kind of fly by the seat of my pants mindset. So sometimes I have to listen to her.
Hey, but that's good to have both of them, and you can make your.
But you know, I wouldn't be here without the support of a lot of people. And one person I always mention on occasions like this was a gentleman named Manuel Solis. Manuel Solis passed away a few years ago. The Manuel Solis, when I was living in my car, I was down to my last straw. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. I couldn't do it. It's just too much. And I met this gentleman, and he said, hey, so he had this little limousine service. He goes, you come drive from a limo for me. I got an extra room you can stay in. So I went and stayed, and from there. And I drove him to one of Selena's birthday parties. So, and I actually drove Culturas, Burleson, and when they were Culturas, I drove them to the Tejano Music Awards when they won Show Band of the Year. So anyway, back to what I was saying is the appreciation of people. Always show gratitude, always show appreciation of people, because one day someone's going to look at you for something, and you have to give back.
Right.
I believe that. And I was it's just that's just in my heart. It's something that I learned from a long time ago from my parents to this day. So thank you guys very much one more time, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you have any questions, like I said, whenever we're playing, to everybody that goes out to the shows, wherever we're at, we're coming to a town near you, I promise. Go check us out, the Art Tigerina band or the Jukebox Preachers. We're going to be making some moves on that end, so look for us, support us, and I hope you guys continue to support us, even though they're like, oh, they're doing country stuff now. But hey, I'm still Tejano, I'm still here, and I'm still the hometown boy of a small town.
Still the homie Art Tigerina, dog.
Texas. You know, that's still me. This is my color. This is what I am, and I will always be this way. And instead of saying, well, turn your back and say, always doing more country, support and say, hey, we have this Tejano, this Hispanic guy that's making some noise. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that support, and it's a continuous thing that we need to do.
And dude, we're the worst.
Sure.
Our cultura, we're the worst at like doing that. You know, we got to get better at it. And it starts off with you walking across the club instead of mad dogging and shaking somebody's hand. We break those barriers. We can do that kind of stuff.
You have to.
But Art, again, dude, I want to thank you, man, for making the trip down. To come hang out with Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. And it's not going to be the last time you're here for sure. We're hoping to expand a little bit. Maybe you can bring some of the guys next time.
Sure, man.
And
like I said, we're working on an EP, some new music, and maybe we can even do some of the stuff and get it out there.
Hell yeah, that would be awesome. And the people love that. You know, the people love that. It's just sometimes with the amount of space I have, it's hard. You know what I mean? I don't. You ever seen La 45?
Oh yeah.
So I they were on my show, bro, and we had the whole sound set up, but we had to do it in my living room because I mean, where the hell were you gonna put them in here? But dude, it was amazing. People, awesome, the people dug it, and they played a lot of the music, and that's what I would like for the band to do, so people can say, "Oh shit, I heard that song," because I think radio, dude, we're missing that. Like, if you don't have a digital radio. If I hear an Art Tigerina song, man, I love that song. Well, if you don't have your Shazam ready to go, dude,
you know what it is.
You're fucked. You didn't get to see or hear what it is. You just got to wait for it. Hopefully that it plays again. You know,
you weren't ready to push play and record at the same time.
Yeah. The tape player is.
And if you didn't have a blank cassette, then you had to put some paper in the little holes. So
for sure, man. For sure.
So you could record over Scorpions.
But you know, I just really think that people need to go out and support you. I'm very honored that you're here. I'm humble, very humbled that you were able to come to my home and share a little bit of your story, dude, because it is amazing. And we only just touched the surface of Art Tigerina's story. But if you take anything from tonight, man, I want you to take that this guy's out there grinding, whether it's on country, whether it's Tejano music, it's who we are. It's Texas. You know what I mean? And he's taking it beyond the borders of Texas. But just the fact that, like you said, when you see the Art Tigerina band, know that it's going to be some Tejano with country. If you see the Jukebox Preachers, don't get mad because he's not up there singing a Tejano song, man. He's going to sing country because that's what they're paying him to do, man. So big shout out to Hot Tejano FM. They're big sponsors of Bumpers Wacky Wednesday. Shout out to Chris Tristan and everybody out there. They're big supporters of Art as well. And again, Art, to you and your beautiful wife, thank you guys for being on the show. Make sure you guys tune in next Wednesday. Got a surprise for you next Wednesday. It's going to be another great show next Wednesday. We're going to have some special guests with my guest. So it's going to make everything cool, man. And I'm going to let you go with a little, I don't know, you got something you want to...
This is the original tune. This is one of my new ones going to be out on my EP. It's called Crazy. Check it out. It goes.
Crazy. So we're going to end the show with Art Tigerina. We're going to send you guys out with a song that's not out. It's not out yet, but he's going to play it for you right here. The song's called Crazy.
I was alone when I met you, baby. I didn't know what I would do. You came into my life and I went crazy. Girl, I went crazy for you. I always loved when you call me baby, 'cause you made love feel so brand new. I still remember the night you left me, and I went crazy for you. I went crazy thinking about you. I went crazy, can't you see? I hope that you're well. As for me, I'm in hell. I'm still going crazy for you. I went crazy thinking about you. I went crazy, can't you see? I hope that you're well. As for me, I'm in hell. I'm still going crazy for you. Still going crazy for you. I'm still going crazy. I'm still going crazy for you.
Jukebox Preachers. Look them up. Mr. Art Tigerina. Art Tigerina Band on the Tejano side. You guys have a wonderful night. Until next week, we'll see you Bumpers Wacky Wednesday.